Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a huge challenge, one that I think almost everyone in IT has felt at some point, and that's mastering a really complex system, like Citrix. We're going to explore how you can actually practice, learn, and grow your skills, all without that constant nagging fear of breaking something critical. All right, let's just dive right in. Does this hit home for you? That feeling in the pit of your stomach, that one single wrong click in a live environment could just bring everything crashing down? Yeah. You are definitely not alone. It's a super common fear, especially when you're just getting your feet wet. So here's how we're going to get you from that place of fear to a place of confidence. First, we'll tackle that fear head on. Then we'll talk about a crucial shift in mindset. After that, it's time to get practical, building your own personal practice playground. Then we'll cover how to learn safely at work. Next up, my favorite part, breaking things on purpose. And finally, we'll put it all together into your path to mastery. Okay, first up, the fear of breaking things. So why does learning these big, complex systems feel so incredibly risky? Well, it's completely natural to be hesitant, right? You don't know what's safe to touch, you don't know what might happen, and you're painfully aware that one tiny change could affect hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. And this right here, this is a huge realization. The absolute best engineers out there, they aren't fearless. They're not just clicking around and hoping for the best. Nope, they are prepared. And that preparation, that's the antidote to fear. It's literally the thing that separates the beginners from the expert. You know, that whole idea of preparation is the perfect segue into our next section, a shift in mindset. This is all about going from being fearful to being prepared. And honestly, before you even touch a single tool, the most important change has to happen right up here, in your head, in your whole approach. Okay, so this really breaks it down nicely, doesn't it? The two totally different ways to go about this. Over on the left, you've got blind practicing. Man, this is the danger zone. Just jumping into production without knowing the rules, testing new stuff on actual live users, it is a total recipe for disaster. But then on the right, you have safe practicing, and that's our goal. This is where you ask questions before you act, you test everything in a lab first, and you get to see what failure looks like in a place where it can't hurt anyone. So how do we make this new mindset a reality? Let's boil it down to 3 simple rules. Rule 1, and this is a big one, ask before you touch production. Always. From there, you follow what I call the read, test, apply method. You read about it, you test it in a lab, and only then do you apply it. And that middle part, the testing, well, that's where we find our secret weapon we'll get to later, breaking things on purpose, but only in a lab, of course. And that brings us right to our next point, your personal practice playground. Seriously, we need to build you a safe space where you can learn and, more importantly, where you can fail. Don't think of it as some crazy, complex technical setup. Think of it like your personal gym or a sandbox, a place where you can experiment and there are absolutely 0 consequences. And listen, building one of these is way more accessible than you probably think. Here are really your top 3 options. First, you can just use Citrix's free trials on Citrix Cloud. Super easy. Second, you could build a little mini home lab with something like VMware or Hyper-V. Or third, you can use cloud VMs from Azure or AWS and just spin them up when you need to practice, then shut them down. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A home lab sounds like a lot of work. But check out this number, 70%. What does that mean? It means a tiny home lab. We're talking just a couple of virtual machines can teach you a whopping 70% of the concepts you'll use in the real world. You absolutely do not need a full-blown data center to get really, really good at this. But here's a pro tip. Just having the lab isn't the whole story. The real key is how you use it. So don't just click around randomly. Give yourself real-world missions. Ask yourself stuff like, hey, what would happen if DNS just broke? And then actually break it. Turn it off. See what happens. You simulate the problem so you can practice the solution. All right, let's switch gears a bit, because you might be thinking, okay, that's great, but I can't build a personal lab right now. No problem. Let's talk about how you can learn safely at work, using your company's own environment to get that valuable experience. And this is the golden rule. Seriously, if you remember one thing today, remember this, because it will protect your career. Never, ever, ever try something new directly in production. Prod is where you apply what you've already figured out. It is not a laboratory. So what can you do on the job? Well, here are 4 super safe and really effective ways. Number 1, shadow the senior engineers. Just ask to watch their screen while they work. I guarantee you'll learn more than in any textbook. Number 2, get read-only access. This is amazing. You can poke around the entire system, see how everything's set up, but you literally can't break anything. Number 3, use inactive objects. Find old delivery groups or policies that nobody's using anymore and use those for practice. And number 4, clone before you edit. This is huge. Always make a copy of a policy before you change it. That way you can test your changes on the copy without touching the original. Okay, now we're at what I think is the most powerful, most important idea we're going to talk about today. Section 5, break things on purpose. I know, it sounds totally crazy and counterintuitive, but trust me, this is the real secret to mastering a system. Here it is, plain and simple. The single fastest way to learn how to fix something is to break it first, on purpose, in your lab. Now, this isn't about being reckless. It's about being a scientist. You're creating a controlled experiment to see what happens when things go wrong. You learn how the system reacts, what the error messages look like, and most importantly, how to bring it all back to life. So what kind of stuff are we talking about? Well, here are some classic experiments you can try. Go ahead, stop the Citrix broker service and see what happens. Or temporarily turn off DNS. Try to break a VDA installation on purpose and then dig through the logs. Every single time you do this, you break it, you figure out why it broke, and you fix it, your confidence is going to go up by like a factor of 10. It's so much more powerful than just reading a manual. All right, let's put all the pieces together now. In our final section, we're laying out your path to mastery. This is the ultimate formula, the game plan that combines everything we've talked about into one clear process for learning safely and, honestly, pretty quickly. So here it is. This is the 5-step loop that the pros use even if they don't consciously think about it. Step 1, you read the concept. You got to understand the why. Step 2, you test it. Get your hands dirty in a lab. Step 3, you break it. See how it fails. Step 4, you fix it. This is where you build that real deep confidence. And then, and only then, comes step 5. You apply what you've learned and proven at work. So really, what this all boils down to is pretty simple, isn't it? It's about practicing smart, experimenting safely, and building your confidence up one little step at a time. And that brings us to the end. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to really get you started on this whole journey. After everything we've gone over today, what are you going to go safely break first?
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for watching this video. My name is Naresh. I am the content creator behind this YouTube channel. I have created a community for Citrix learners where I will be posting a lot of details on Citrix products and how to work in Citrix environments. I'm going to mention the link in the video description so you can click on that link and you can become part of the community. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.